Good evening. Yeah, good evening. Belfast blues and boxing. You know. Look at this, is fucking all bent, isn't it? Bent out of all proportion. Let's leave it better than that. So yeah, it's quite early in the morning to be making a wee dairy room entry, but uh, yeah, I'd stayed up last night to watch the what's his name again? Patrick McCrory Berlanga fight, and yeah, obviously didn't get the result that we wanted, but I thought he got stuck right in there, and that guy was really tough, or really strong. Um, but yeah, owing to that, I I got up at 10 o'clock this morning, and after having been up all night, and I was like, oh great, I'm ready to go about my day. This is me. And I come downstairs. I was having a cup of tea, and I just sort of fell asleep in the chair. I could still like think, but I was fully asleep. And I had to sort of drag myself back up to bed. Slept for another 7, 8 hours. Yeah, woke at something like 6 o'clock, and so yeah, the whole thing's been thrown askew. Went to a wee gig this evening. We'll talk about that in a wee minute. Just a brief bit on the fight. I'm going to be going into a bit more detail with it afterwards. Because I want to talk about the gig that happened tonight, and it might be good to talk about that first and get that out of the road, and then we can talk about boxing and different things, and yeah, we'll just see how we go, won't we? So like Patrick McCrory last night, like I say, that guy was really tough, and I thought Patrick McCrory did himself proud with the way he fought. Um, and obviously the respect and everything was clear to see after it, and it was good to see like they really they went above and beyond the usual. A little bit of a handshake and all right, good to see you, mate. Right, all the best. Fucking, I hope you get the Canelo fight. It was more like they were hanging on to each other, and Berlanga was crying and all. He was like, "Oh man, I love you. I just want to tell you that I love you." So there was a bit of that. So and the respect was there. Like Berlanga come out after, and your man was talking on Chris Mannix, is it one of the guy with the microphone, and he was saying, these Irish motherfuckers they're strong, man. They're tough. These Irish guys. So yeah, that was good to hear too. But I don't really. There's no need for me really going to a technical breakdown of the fight. If you're watching this for some reason, then you've probably seen it with your own eyes, and you know what happened. Like, I mean, he was knocked out at the end of the sixth round. He was sort of caught with a right hand or an uppercut. No, I think was it McCrory threw an uppercut, wasn't it? And I think the guys commentating said it's a tricky shot. You're gonna throw a shot like that with your back against the rope. It's kind of like a shot to nothing in a way, and you're leaving yourself open. But it was just something that he did in the moment, or for whatever reason, that's the shot that he threw, and he was caught with that right hand. You could already see that the wear was on him. Three the few rounds previous to that. Um, Berlanga was quite a dirty fighter, for as respectful as it was afterwards. I mean, you could see that Berlanga was a dirty fighter, like with the elbows and the low blows. And of course, they were giving McCrory nothing, seeing that it was in Orlando. Um, but yeah, do you know what? He went over there. Nobody was really giving him much of a chance. I thought the build up was good, and yeah, it was quite fair and stuff in terms of the coverage that the Irishman got, and you know what? It's good to see for Berlanga as well, because obviously he was coming in for quite a bit of scrutiny and quite a bit of criticism, and people were questioning him, and then he comes out with a performance like that against a legitimate opponent, and do you know the other thing too? I mean, we're all boxing fans, some fights you see, you go, these guys are tipping and tapping. It seems like they're not. They're both, like there's some fights that don't really catch fire. You know, make no mistake. This is about as real as it gets. Really, wasn't it? And when I seen the punches he was taking, I had to rethink my plans to to go join the boxing gym. I was like, fuck, I don't know, I hope I don't have to take punches like that. Um, so I think McCrory, you really have to give him credit because he was in with a very heavy set guy, you know, really a much bigger guy. I think he must have rehydrated to quite a bit heavier than McCrory. Although McCrory had been up at light heavyweight, he's a slim enough fella, and you know us Northern Irish dudes and Irish guys, you know, we're quite pasty. You never really see a tanned Irishman, you know, apart from Conor McGregor after he made 100 million fighting McGregor, you know, or fucking Mayweather. Um, so yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm sure, like just today and stuff, he's well, God knows what way you know the fighter feels after defeat and stuff like that. But I really think he can be proud of himself with what he'd done, and it was really good exposure for him as well. And I think that the people took to him, you know, with the social media interviews and the more media specific, you know, like the zone interviews and things like that. He come across real good, you know, good speaker and stuff, and I thought it was good to see, you know. And of course, promoted by the Conlons, you know, Conlon Promotions, which is good to see those guys doing something out of Belfast for Irish boxing and linking in with Matchroom then and the Zone as well, which is good news for Irish boxing. Yeah, so that was good to see, man. That was good to see, you know, and hopefully the the Irish scene will produce a real standout fighter now over the next couple of years. I mean, you have Crocker there, obviously, who's looking good, and you have oh, what's the fella's name? He's a traveller. He's a welterweight as well. Well, they're talking about those guys fighting each other, aren't they? They're talking about doing it this year. Um, as long as the other guy still gets to go on and have his career, because they're both quite good fighters. Wouldn't want to see one placed as the sort of sacrificial lamb, you know. But yeah, I mean, that's that. The undercard, I didn't pay a great amount of attention to it. I mean, some of the fights seemed to be good, but I was busy doing other things. So, um, I'm not really the boxing hardcore that I once was. So, whether or not I should be running a boxing channel, you know, that's questionable. But over here we get into you know, different things, don't we? So it's all good as long as there's some content. Then we're all good, aren't we? So oh, there was the Cuban guy for was it only his second or third pro fight? I think he was undefeated as an amateur, maybe 150 fights or something like that. Steve Cruz, Andy Cruz, yeah, Andy Cruz, and he looked all right. He looked all right. I don't know what weight he's fighting at. Might have been welterweight, not sure. Looked okay. I wasn't blown away by him. Wasn't a mad, you know, coming out performance, you know. But you know, he did what he had to do. So, like that's all right. That's the boxing end of the road. Let's talk about the gig tonight, which I'm not too long home from, which was I'm trying to see if there's a name for it here. There's no real name for the event, but basically it was a rap hip hop type thing, yeah. And all local artists, local rappers. It was a bit of spoken word stuff. Uh, Rare, which was down there, who's a great artist and big part of the scene. He does all sorts of cartoons, and you know he's very funny. He raps, but tonight he was playing banjo and keyboard, and he was singing. It's like musical comedy, you know. He's really great, and we all had good crack with that. And then there was a whole rap section where it was like there were 4 or 5 different rappers. I thought they were all going to do separate sets, but we all just sort of crowded in, and they were passing the mic, and you take one, and I'll take one. It was great. It was good fun. It was great. A really nice crowd at it. A lot of funky people, you know, a lot of hippie, a lot of hip hop sort of dudes and guys and gals, you know. Everybody turned out well, dressed up, you know, getting their wee groove on. It was nice. And then to finish, there was band from the south. Well, at least two of the guys were from County Cork. They were called Black Turf. Unfortunately, they got cut off early. They because the whole night had started a bit later than what they intended, so they only got playing 3 or 4 songs. But they were really good. They were like a reggae type of neo soul type of hip hop, that sort of backing. And then they had a guy that was the bass player. He was rapping. He would come on and do a bit of rapping, and the singer, dreadlocks and the whole bit. He was doing a bit of singing and stuff, and they were really nice. They were really good. So yeah, there was a raffle. There was a raffle, and I bought a load of tickets, like, and then I missed the raffle somehow. I don't know how I missed the raffle, but I did. I don't think I won anyway, and most of the prizes were bottles of alcohol, which would have been no good to me. But you know what? It was a good wee night to get down and chat to a few people, and yeah, chatting to a few nice people, so that was good. Yeah, in terms of the rappers that were there, coincidental, John Quinn, who's a great musician, Cajon Quinn, so he would have sang and played that, that drum thing that you sit on. He would have played that back in the day, and then he started into the rap stuff, and he more or less transitioned, fully into the hip hop scene. And of course, then he can still sing and write songs and stuff like that as well, which is great. Don Fada, which is a fella Donald, who I'd met when I was out doing my photography the other night. He's a great guy. There is like a monthly night these guys do, which is called Elixir. They have in Lavery's, which is like basically the monthly sort of rap night. This was a one-off thing. Like I say, it was a fundraiser for the Palestine sort of thing, and so he would usually be like the host of this Elixirs thing, and he's a really cool guy, and he's a great rapper. He's like, everybody was laughing because he must have rapped for about 5 minutes straight without taking a breath. And the host after was like, I don't know how this fucker's still standing, or he said something about him turning blue or something like that. So he was great. It's almost like a machine gun attack, like that type of thing. Steve Locke, it was my first time seeing him live. I've seen some of his stuff online, and obviously know of him as a rapper on the local scene. I might have seen him once or twice at different things, but this was the first time that I really knew what I was watching, and he's brilliant. He's great. Like, again, very much not so much like a machine gun, but there's an aggressive element to it. But the guys are all good fellas, and it's good fun and stuff like that. But again, maybe a bit like boxing or something like that. It's a good channel for aggression and stuff like that. It's a healthy way of getting it out. And they're fighting the good fight too, so it's like, yeah, this is good, man. This is all good. This hoodie, by the way, is that's one of Rare Witch's cartoons. So it's a thing called Pure Mad. Which I don't know if anybody sees this that isn't aware of him already. Like, check him out. You can call him Petal Reaction on Instagram, and his videos and his cartoons and stuff are insane. This one's really funny. It's one of my favorites. It's basically I won't even go into it, but yes, we're checking out. Who else was there? There was another fella. There were a few different other guys who I don't know so well, and the way I've got the poster up here, I'm trying to read their names, but it's written in a really strange font, so I can't tell who they are. Really. So look, it was, like I say, it was a great night. There's not really too much more to say about it, because speaking to a couple of guys I would sort of half know off that scene, and got doing a bit of chatting, and one fella, Matty Dreads, was listening to his latest album on the way home, cycled down, cycled back up again with the headphones on. And that was nice, So here, do you know what we'll do? We'll get up the boxing news, and we'll just go for a quick skim. not really feeling the mania today. You know, this is quite a laid back edition. You know, which might be a good thing. This could be good. So yeah, let's see. What do we have here? What do we have? On this day, Clay beats Liston and shakes up the world. I shake up the world. I shake up the world. Yes, she did. Do you know what? I found a channel on YouTube. Oh, it found me, really. But it's fascinating. It's lots of rare and early sort of unseen interviews with Cassius Clay, who became Muhammad Ali. And it's really interesting to see because a lot of these interviews are when he is a bit younger and he hasn't by that time yet fully developed his persona. You know, is this kind of like McGregor too? If you watch the early McGregor stuff, you go, how did he possibly transform from that guy into this fucking dynamo? You know, and it's kind of good to see that there was a process to it, and he was getting practice doing this filmic stuff again and again, and every time he was doing a bit, he was getting a bit better at it. And it's great too. There's other clips where you just see him where he's just out of character and he's just being himself and he's sitting back and he's talking about stuff and it's like, oh well, this is quite nice as well. Um, this was actually a real person and not just some superhero, you know, who have watched the fights and you know, I mean even if you see him on like the interviews, something like Parkinson or something like that, it's like he's still so charismatic. It's somewhat, I say unbelievable, but it's inhuman nearly. So yeah, so that was this time about fucking how many years ago? 60 years ago. Yeah, February 25th, 26th. My birthday's coming up. And Chaz admits confidence is broken following stoppage defeat to Inoue. Wait a second, I didn't know he'd fought Inoue. When was that? Uh, was that last night? Mm. Right, I didn't know about that at all. I need to see if I can watch that. Uh, I've been speaking about this fighter, and Shazwa, or however that's pronounced. I'd seen him fight years ago in Belfast, and like you say, he'd fought Jimmy Conlon. He beat Jimmy Conlon, and it was sad to see, but you could see that this guy was really a top operator, like because Conlon was a good fighter, like, and he was great to watch, and he'd fought decent opposition, and then this guy come along and just yeah, he was really good. But he went on to become a unified world champion, so it was like, oh okay, um, that's all right then. There's no shame at all in losing to a guy like that. Okay, so yeah, let's just have a quick read of this. So Yerwin and Kazjas and Kazjas, I'm sure there's a soft J, is aware of the shortcomings that saw the former IBF super flyweight champion failing his attempt to become a two-weight world champion in his bantamweight title challenge against Takuma Inoue. Takuma Inoue. Is that the same Inoue I'm thinking of, or is this another Inoue altogether? It's all getting very confusing, isn't it? Let's see. I didn't realise there was another Inoue. He's super bantam now, is he? Let's see, am I spelling that right? Right. Because it's his name's something else, isn't it? It's like Nana Inoue or something. Hang on, we're spelling this wrong and everything. Oh, we have to go to the second page. Inoue, is that it? That's how they say it, isn't it? Yeah, he's Naoya Inoue. So this is some other dude. He's up at super bantam now. This is some other guy, Taka. Right, okay. A renowned body puncher said he was punished for not defending his body and being reckless with his punches. I was so focused on hitting the body, but it was me who got hit in the body, and Chazia says, alongside Sean Gibbons and through a translator inside his locker room. The Filipino admitted it was the only time he had been dropped by a body shot in the ring, under the lights, or even in sparring. That was the first time in my career, even in sparring, it's just, who cares, man? I'm sorry, we're doing a quick skim here. We don't have time to do, and I don't have the energy to go into a whole spiel. Not tonight. It's 2 a.m. Yeah, give me a break. Garcia, I think Joshua will knock Ngannou out. Right, okay. Photos, Edgar Berlanga put up McCrory, I'll get a look at them after. Hearn, Edwards, this is a massive fight, we can make it happen this year. You know, I've tried to cut out all cursing and things like that when I'm talking here on the YouTube, you know, and but I seen earlier today when Paulie Malignaggi was doing his breakdown of the fight last night. He said it after the fight that that Eddie Hearn had he says I couldn't believe the blowjob that Eddie Hearn gave Canelo Alvarez. And I was like, what? Well, excuse me? And I was like, no. He then sort of corrected it. He says, well, it was a verbal blowjob. He gave Canelo the best verbal blowjob I've ever seen. It's funny as fuck, man. Bozy Ennis happy with Cruz. Right, so it's fucking Boots Ennis. His dad's looking after that Cuban boy. Rules out Boots for Ben. Yeah, why would you want to fight Conor Ben? Yeah, he's not hasn't looked that good. Since he's cut down on the eggs. He's that last guy he fought. Nah, man, no good. Sorry, mate. Sorry, Ben, but you know I hope you can rise up and whatever. But nah, you're not in the same category as a Boots Ennis. Like you know, you call it whoever you want, but you're not on that level, in my opinion. In my opinion. Loeffler, don't care. Joshua reassures. Talented Harris, don't know who Harris is. Hearn, Berlanga would fight fire with fire in the ultimate challenge against Canelo. Well, see, I think this is what Malignaggi was referring to. He was going like, Hearn doesn't even promote Canelo anymore. And the guy, you know the way, like, whenever Hearn was promoting Canelo, there was the picture of him having the hug, and he was like, you know, he'd stopped talking about Joshua, he stopped talking about, I was on the phone to AJ just last night, and he's like, no, suddenly it was, well, you know, Saul, and he always called him Saul, he says, Saul and me were playing poker, or just having a wee game of poker there back in the hotel, and just dropping that in, and so the guy, Chris Mannix, got ready to interview Hearn, and he says, well, you know, Canelo Alvarez is doing such and such, and Hearn was like, yes, ready to go, and he was like, I heard you're like WhatsApp pals with him. I heard you got him on WhatsApp. But Hearn was undeterred, like he didn't even blink, you know what I mean? He's just like gritted his teeth and was like, me and Canelo's fucking really good mates, you know what I mean? Don't you dare make that inference, Chris Mannix. Right, who else? Andy Cruz says if I have a Keyshawn Davis, completely depends on Davis. Well, you're kind of passing the buck there, mate, aren't you? You just want to fucking hand over all the responsibility. It's all you. It's all on you. Yeah, and I'm the ace. Right, Benavidez, Gavodskas, for the WBC interim light heavyweight title would be a slap in the face. Berlanga sets sights on Canelo following McCrory victory. Yeah, I thought Berlanga looked real good, you know. Obviously, he needs to step up now and fight a legitimate contender or a fellow prospect. I don't think he's ready to go in against a Munguia yet. Obviously, it would be nice to get the Canelo fight straight off and get the payday and all of that. But if he could fight a couple of, you know, step up his level of opponent and fight a couple more guys, I do these days. He's got the goods, you know. It's just how he's moved and how he's motivated. And I think he'll be grand. He'll be alright, yeah. So fans go home happy after rocking fights at the Paramount. Caparello Haltz Federici, yeah, rocking them fights at the Paramount. Woods recalls all-time classic between Corrales and Castillo. That's I've never actually really fully watched that fight. Might watch that tonight. Yes, there you are. That was a bit of bit of a disinterested, apathetic. Can't think of any more big words. But you know what I mean. Like that really wasn't the best roundup, was it? But it is what it is, guys. I'll be back on form tomorrow, or maybe the day after. Like I say, I'm on this little journey with sobriety and stuff like that, and sometimes you go through a little lull. You can be flying high because you found this new freedom and your emotions and everything's going great. But you have to take the low. You have to take that L every once in a while and go, yes, mate, I'm gonna just fucking chill out here for a few days and endure this lack of energy and look after myself so it goes along in the best possible way, so you're not fucking, you know what I mean. You have to take the right measures because it's something that comes up. So if you're living healthily outside of the fact that you're not drinking or not taking drugs, if you're eating right, if you're exercising, a little bit of self-care, whatever it is you need to do, if you're into your meditation, and like I've got a load of candles lit here. I just like I have a friend, right, Jonathan, and he was like, I've never met a straight man who lights so many candles. I just like them, man, you know what I mean? I was like, you know what? Just wee fucking things like that. Nice food, good sleep, some kind of a treat, go and do something productive, all that stuff, man. You have to give yourself every chance, look. And then when your lows do come, it's not quite as bad as what it could otherwise be, because in the past I've had times where when the low comes and the emotional tumult and torment is fucking just got you in its grip. I felt suicidal at those times, and I've, come out with a, a big cry for help Facebook post. Now I just talk to YouTube, yeah, under the guise of, boxing videos. But I mean, I've sort of come onto this thing, and I'm, talking about boxing. I'm going to continue to talk about boxing. Maybe music might supersede it for a little while, and God knows what way it'll go as it progresses and stuff like this. But obviously, there's talk about sobriety, there's talk about fitness, there's talk about well-being, and you know what? It's probably the same as what you would get on any other podcast. I know this strictly isn't a podcast, but it's not a million miles away from it, is it? Yeah, so. You have to talk about what you know, isn't it? Yeah. So, and they say boxing is a great metaphor for life, which is why I think a lot of people really enjoy it as a sport, and, because it's inspirational and all of that stuff. And I see Carl Froch latest video come up for Shia LaBeouf. How the fuck did that come about? Apparently they're doing a film together. I don't know if Froch is in the film. There's some talk of him being, playing this bit part, which would be interesting to see. I think he'd be good. I think Froch will be good, man. I think he'd be a good actor. I think he would be quite convincing in any role. But that was quite cool to see. That's Shia LaBeouf. I really like him as an actor, and a person, and obviously, as they spoke about in the video, and it's sort of motivated his film choices of roles and stuff as well. The sobriety thing is a big theme in his life, and the story with his dad and all that. I remember watching the film that was about him and his dad and stuff. it was so interesting, and he's a real interesting guy, and it's nice to hear an actor, talk about, like, for instance, Frotch had put him through the quick fire round at the end, the 12 questions, and he asked him who's your favourite actors, this and that, and favourite film, and he said Raging Bull, and Frotch was like, oh, he's like, it's a boxing film too, and he was like, no, that's fucking, you gotta understand, he was talking about the craft of acting, really, and it was interesting to hear that, and I'm glad Frost was able to keep his mouth shut for 30 seconds to let this guy say something quite interesting, which is what we all tuned in for. So, like, I thought that was quite a coup for Carl Frost, It's like, how's this going? What's the dynamic going to be like here? Because this guy's a fucking Hollywood movie star. And Carl Frost comes in, like, and they're having a wee chat back and forth, and then it's like, oh wait, they're just two guys. They're just two fellas. And, like, obviously they have what they each accomplish and where they come from in life and stuff like that. Mutual respect and admiration and all of that stuff. And it was quite insightful, Frost, for someone that, made his money lumping people around the head and to the body occasionally. Is a thoughtful enough sort of guy, like, you know what I mean. He's got a few wee insights there, and he's quite good at his job as far as, like, having a guest on and stuff, because LaBouffe would be talking away and talking and talking and talking, and Frotz just knew how to drop in the right question, just like, just like a wee shunt like that there, just to make you go whoop, reset a bit, and so yeah, it was nice to see, there was a wee bit of a David Brent in there too, like, fucking Frost is a fan of The Office, like, as aren't we all, yeah, good show, but it's getting a bit dated now, isn't it? It's like, we need something else, please, gods of comedy, give us something. Because I suppose you have, like, your Basil Fawlty Towers and stuff like that, and yeah, your Alan Partridges, and and then you had The Office, which was so good, and I was about to say Brent, but Gervais, he got into different things, there was Extras, which was great, and then there was Life's Too Short, and there were parts of it that were really good. I like the part where Liam Neeson comes in and he's like, he comes in for a meeting with Stephen Merchant and Ricky Gervais. He's telling me he wants to do comedy. Yeah, you gotta go and watch that. It's very funny. It's hilarious. But yeah, then he started doing Afterlife and stuff. And whilst I hear that's a lovely show and stuff, I suppose we're big fans of The Office. You're just hoping, oh please, why can't you just keep doing that original classic stuff? But maybe that's the same with every actor or comedian, whoever it is, you know what I mean? It just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work like that. Like, I know Brent or Gervais loves Spinal Tap, Christopher Guest, who does those films, and like, if you watch the rest of his films, they're funny. They're probably really good, if you take the time to get into them and stuff like that. But Spinal Tap will always be the one. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I guess that. It just is what it is, really. But somebody's gonna have to rise up to arrest that fucking title from Ricky Gervais and say, that this is something else that's come along here. It would be good to see, man. It would be good to see. Curb Your Enthusiasm is very good, actually. It's not a bad show. There's about 50 series. It goes on forever. That's Larry Merchant. Oh man. And he's got his mate, he's got his alcoholic mate. He comes round, Richard. Yeah. He gets into arguments with everybody. He just gets into confrontations everywhere he goes, He's brilliant, man. funny guy. Yeah. So there you are, folks. You know that's really all I've got to say. And I'll tell you one quick little anecdote here before I fuck off and I got there. You know what I mean? There's something about that. It's pink. It's a nice label. It's probably overpriced. Lots of sugar in it, but it's nice. You need these wee things, don't you? And it could be a buzz. Yeah. Just like LaBeouf was saying, you know what I mean? You gotta start doing good deeds in order that you can get high. You know, because us alcoholics and us drug addicts recovering, we still want to get high. You know, and we find this other way of doing it. Let's go and do good deeds. Yeah, so we're just like running the streets manically, chasing people down, trying to offer them help. So what do we got here, right? There is a quote that I shall find. I believe it's Rambo, right? He was a mad cunt himself. Rambo. What's the name of you? What was I gonna drunk? We must. Yes, let's try this. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get it. I think I first seen this attached to like a Pete Doherty thing. Where is the quote, man? Give me the quote. It might be somebody else. I'll take. Oh wait, hang on. We're gonna get it, man. We are gonna get it. The drunken boat, get away, man. Where's the quote? I don't want no drunken boat. I'll take Rambo out of the thing. Look. This is BS, man. We're getting different stuff, right? Okay. But you know what? We've ended up getting a few quotes from this other guy, right? And this is the name of his book. It's called Zen in the Art of Writing. Quotes. This is the quotes from the book, right? By a guy called Releasing the Creative Genius Within You. Yeah. By Ray Bradbury. So he says here, you must stay drunk on writing so reality cannot destroy you. Fair enough, mate. What else does he say here? I've never listened to anyone who criticised my taste in space travel, sideshows, or gorillas. When this occurs, I pack up my dinosaurs and leave the room. You know what I mean? Just words of wisdom. Like, every morning I jump out of bed and step on a landmine. The landmine is me. After the explosion, I spend the rest of the day putting the pieces together. Right, he's talking a lot of bullshit here. Nah, we don't want to read any more from this fucking guy. You know what? You must stay drunk. I'm gonna find this. On virtue. Yeah, see, I don't want to have to type it, say it aloud, and then I give away what the quote is before I can read it out grandly. So here we are. Alright, Baudelaire. This fucking bastard. Oh, here we are, right? Charles Baudelaire. This is a French fucking dude, I think. Sounds pretty French, doesn't he? Yeah, born in Paris, 1821. Looks pretty stern. Yeah. So you have to be always drunk. That's all there is to it. It's the only way, so as not to feel the horrible burden of time that breaks your back and bends you to the earth. You have to be continually drunk. Great advice. But on what? Wine, poetry, or virtue? As you wish, but be drunk. And if sometimes on the steps of a palace, or the green grass of a ditch, in the mournful solitude of your room, you wake again, drunkenness already diminishing or gone, ask the wind, the wave, the star, the bird, the clock, everything that is flying, everything that is groaning, everything that is rolling, everything that is singing, everything that is speaking, ask what time it is, and wind, wave, star, bird, clock will answer you, it is time to be drunk. So as not to be the martyred slaves of time, be drunk, be continually drunk, on wine, no, on poetry, yes, or on virtue, as you wish. So there you are, fucking Baudelaire. I knew what he was on about. Obviously, us alcoholics recovering cannot get drunk on wine, so we drink smoothies and we do good deeds and you know do some creative shit, and maybe that might get you high as well. So there you are, man. There you are. You know what I mean? So right, before I fucking go here, I have one or two other things to say. I'm gonna shave this moustache. Cause like I was talking to a few different girls tonight, you know, and I was having quite a bit of success, and it was good. It was nice, you know, and that's all. It's just good to know. It's good to know you're in the game, like you know. And what what happened was I was the last girl I was talking. Like I talking to these two girls from Essex, two lovely girls, and one of them was studying anthropology, and we were fucking talking about this and talking about that, and you know she's into the sociological end of it and all of this here type of stuff, and I would a good wee chat, you know, and what was I getting to here? Yeah, they were saying that they really liked the Northern Irish accent. And I was like, yeah. I was just sort of going, yeah, I remember a lot of guys when they, you know, from here, when they went to, you know, England or Scotland or something like that, you know, for a week or a weekend, they said, like, when they would go out to the bars and stuff, the women were just all over them, you know, because apparently they loved the voice. Um, and the girl turned around to me and was like, oh, is that how you get the girls? Is that how you get the birds? And I was like, oh my god, no. I thought I was being smooth as fuck here, and this girl's this girl's just joking about my pulling power, you know. So you know what it was too. I think, like I say, I'm a bit of a front runner, so I got in early. I was full of charisma, full of juice, you know, and I was like, it was going good, man. It was fucking some nice little chats. There was a lot of interest, and then like I say, I got talking to these two girls. Uh, it was a friendly chat, just a friendly chat, you know. Then again, I think there could have been some. So like Carl Froch done his Shia LaBeouf, you know, and then just shaking it off like it was nothing. He says, yeah, that's just another episode for Froch on Fighting. We've done Joey Barton, we've done this. You've seen the wife. Now we've got fucking Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, who's it gonna be next? Where do you go from there? He's already reached the fucking top of the mountain, so it's like, where is there to go? And anyway, look, fair play to him. He's not the worst. And then, what do you call that other guy? Johnny Nelson. So Johnny Nelson, I watched a good one with him. And he was basically coming out to talk about Eddie Hearn. So Hearn had, you know, was coming out and, oh, Johnny Nelson says this, and oh, Johnny Nelson says that. And it's like, Hearn, can you not take criticism? For someone so brazen, so full of confidence, can you not take criticism, Eddie Hearn? You know, and I like to say fucking Johnny Winter. Johnny Nelson pointed out quite rightly that Eddie Hearn, since he's hooked up with fish eyes all of a sudden, that Sky has become the new target and Johnny Nelson has become the new target, you know, because Johnny Nelson will fucking tell you. You know, Johnny Nelson's all sweet, man, and he tells the truth. Now, the interviewer did ask, right, which might be fucking irrelevant. He says to him, "Look, Nelson, could there be something in this that you work for Sky and now you're trying to talk down the opposition, and that whenever Joshua was fighting on Sky, you were mostly complimentary about him? Now that he's not on Sky and you're not working with Eddie Hearn, suddenly you're being a whole lot more openly critical." That might be part of it, but you know what I mean. I like Johnny Nelson, man. I think he's a cool guy. You know, he's a cool guy, man. He is wise. Johnny Nelson is wise. He's got the MBE, man. He's got the fucking MBE. He can say what he wants. You know? He has earned that right. And he had a saxophone sitting in the room that he was chilling in the house, listening to a bit of reggae and stuff. Just chilling out, like. And he's a fucking saxophone sitting there. I'm wondering, can Johnny Nelson play that saxophone? I'm going, you know, if I had to guess, I would say, I don't know. Maybe one of the next interviews they'll ask him to have a go at it. He could pick it up and he could be amazing. He could be like fucking John Coltrane. Just, But saxophones are quite nice things, like guitars are, and it's just nice to have them lying around. I mean, like, Carl Froch can't play the guitar. Well, I have seen footage of Carl Froch playing the guitar. There's a video, isn't there, from back in the day, where he's sitting strumming. I think he might even be singing a bit. But it's like, do you know what it is? Obviously, I don't know these people, you know, but if I was to get in the ring with Johnny Nelson and Carl Froch, the two of them would beat me stupid. Yeah. If I landed down with the guitar and my harmonicas and stuff, and Nelson picks up the saxophone, and Carl comes in with the acoustic, you know what I mean? They're gonna get embarrassed. They will be red-faced. They will leave that jamming session. It'll take something out of them. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't do that to them. I would hope that if I was to get in the ring with them, they would go easy on me, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's all the same, man. It's nice to have interests, isn't it? Yeah. And it's quite good, like, you know, I think there are lots of people that would love to play the saxophone. I've met a number of people actually that have said they would and they wanted to buy one and stuff like that. Johnny Nelson is in a position financially where he can make that dream come true for him. He got the saxophone and it's sitting there and it looks fucking lovely. Whether he can play it or not, you know, he might be fit to fucking do a few bits and pieces. And you gotta think about it this way too, right? Now we talk about transferable skills. I'm sure in boxing, similarly to music, it's a lot of breath work. You know, you have to breathe from your diaphragm. You have to do your most effective stuff. You know, and even those guys as pundits, in order to talk and get your full resonance of your voice and all of that, a lot of it's breath work on how you hold yourself. And, you know, those are things, you know, techniques and stuff that you build up until they become intuitive. So, you know, those guys might have the sort of, you know, skeletal kind of structure like that's necessary for to become, you know, decent musicians. You know. It would be a great video if Froch got Johnny Nelson on. And then at the end they both had a jam. That would be fucking brilliant, man. That would be fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant. That's what people in Belfast say it all the time. They say brilliant. They don't say brilliant, they say brilliant. Like Berlin with a T in the end. Brilliant. That's what we say. We say brilliant. It's fucking fantastic. It's a great just sentence. Fucking brilliant. You know what I mean? If you're from here, you know what it means. It's like, yeah, you don't even have to think about it or nothing. It's just like, yes. You hear it, it's like, yep, fucking brilliant. This one. It's great. It's really good. And you know, you get this fucking Shia LaBeouf clown, you know, he's gonna go over to Nottingham. Sorry. He seems like a really nice guy. Don't know why I said that. But he's to come over to Nottingham and learn how to fucking... He's got to learn how to talk Nottingham style and stuff. And he's going to hang out with Lee, the alcoholic Froch legend. And fucking Carl and stuff. And them boys are going to beat him around the gym a wee bit and fucking show him how to fucking talk like a Nottingham person. So that should be interesting for them boys. Bit of crack. You'll not be doing no surfing and Nottingham. You'll not be doing no surfing in the North of England, man. No way. Leave your surfboard at home, Shia. Fucking hell. You maybe get a trip down the canal. Anyway, look, that's a very off topic fucking thing, you know. So the channel might need to be changed to alcoholism, addiction, recovery, and some boxing, and occasionally music as well. Belfast Inc. Yeah. So you can just take what you want out of it. Do you know what? You know what I'd like to see. You know, you can talk about your car frotches and your fucking. Hang on a wee second here. You can talk about your car frotches and your Johnny Nelsons and the likes of that, but we know who the top dog is in boxing YouTube. We know who it is. Yeah, we know who the top guy is. You don't even need to name his name because you who are watching and or listening, you know just as well as me who the top dog, who the daddy is. Yeah. And we're due a video. We're due a video from the daddy quite soon, so hoping to see something. Because when the daddy speaks, the little children listen. They listen. Yeah. So sometimes you just gotta respect the top dog, like, you know. The original and best. Yes, man. Anyway, lads, fucking take it easy. Hope there's some good boxing this week. There'll be some musical stuff going on, no doubt. There will be some alcohol, fucking cocaine, marijuana, fucking diazepam recovery going on too. So, you know, you can get it all here. You know how it is. Gonna go and drink this smoothie and fucking, yeah, read some poetry.